Jeff, you got Coach?
Yeah, Coach, can you hear us all right?
Yeah, Jeff, how you doing, everyone? Before I take questions, I want to take a moment. Today's a very, very important day in our history. We celebrate and we honor Congressman John Lewis. Today in Atlanta, we're celebrating his life, an American hero. And as we, start the NBA restart today, I know there's a lot of attention across our country on the NBA. As exciting as that is, we cannot forget where we are in our history and the importance of his life and what that's meant for our country and the message that needs to carry with us moving forward. So I hope everyone is able to follow me on this. I'm going to read in his own words from Congressman John Lewis a message, and a very powerful message from the documentary Good Trouble. Voting rights are under attack in America. Quietly, gradually, state by state, the right to vote, a right that many people die to secure, is being taken away. The Brennan Center released a report that shows that voting law changes across the nation will make it significantly harder for more than 5 million voters to exercise their constitutional right to vote. This should not be happening. Today, we should be making it easy, simple, and convenient to vote. Instead, legislators around the nation are creating barriers and making it more difficult for citizens to vote. There is not just one law, but many types of laws that are disenfranchising millions of voters. Voter photo identification laws, proof of citizenship laws, barriers to registration, elimination of early voting and absentee voting, and laws making it harder to restore voting rights for people who have paid their debt to society. These laws are a barrier to an inclusive democracy. We are stepping backward toward another dark time in our history. We cannot separate the dangerous trend across this nation from our history and the struggle for the right to vote. Before the passage of the Voting Rights Act in 1965, not so very long ago, it was almost impossible for some citizens to register and vote. Many were harassed, jailed, beaten, and some were even killed for trying to participate in the democratic process. The right to vote is precious and almost sacred, and one of the most important blessings of our democracy. Today, we must be vigilant in protecting that blessing. The history of the right to vote in America is a history of conflict, of struggling for the right to vote. Many people died trying to protect that right. I was beaten and jailed because I stood up for it. For millions like me, the struggle for the right to vote is not mere history, it is experience. We should not take a step backward with new poll taxes and voter ID laws and barriers to voting. We must ensure every vote and every voter counts. The vote is the most powerful, non-violent tool we have in a democratic society. We must not allow the power of the vote to be neutralized. We must never go back.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go ahead and start with questions. Evan Barnes.
Coach, I almost want to ask you more about what made you want to choose those words from John Lewis, because obviously his life is such an important part of American history. But in reading those words, what did you get from reading those words, and why did you choose to share those with us today?
Well, Evan, I think, personally, having seen the documentary and learning about the life of Congressman John Lewis, how powerful one individual can have in our country, it starts with individuals in our country making change, speaking for change. And for me to learn about change and learning about our history, this is a subject that I can honestly say I don't have all the information on. And it's powerful to learn for someone that has made such a great difference in our country. And I'm blessed to be here, to be a head coach in the NBA, to work with amazing people, to be back in action. But I need to take a pause and realize life, freedom is greater than playing basketball and coaching basketball. And today we celebrate an icon, a hero that paved a way, but the pavement's not done. As he said, we can never go back. And we're in a position now, in a moment in time, where we have to take a hard look at ourselves individually and as a society and recognize what's more important to us. Is it the NBA and basketball, or is it freedoms for our families, our communities, our future generations, and equality for all?
Terry Davis.
It's a hard transition, Coach, but how do you is this Portland team different? How different is this Portland team from the last time you play them, and how you prepare for them? Because I know in the preseason you were working on yourself. Now you have to work on your team and prepare for this team. So how is Portland different than early this year?
Terry, I mean, Portland's a talented team, obviously a team that played in the Western Conference Finals last year. We've done our study. We know this isn't the same team we faced during the season, but the focus is going to remain on us. We've done our due diligence to prepare for them, and I know our guys are excited to face them tomorrow.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Great. Thanks, everyone.